Alright, it's the Wheel1 podcast. You know, I got a special guest in the cut right here. You know what I'm saying? This is my homie. We go way back, aka my mentor. You know what I'm saying? We the same age, but still my mentor. It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? My homie Lizzle. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Introduce yourself to the people.
You know, it's Carlisle, Lizzle, Jay, you know, whatever you want to call me.
Sid. However the people know you, you know what I'm saying?
A man of many names.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And now, Lizzle, you know, we're going to do it how we usually do it on the show. We're just going to get right into it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And we're going to get right into that early life, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, like, you know, upbringing, you know what I'm saying? Where you come from, siblings, family life, all that, like, you know?
Yeah. So to start off from around the corner, Jane and Shepherd grew up over there,
West End,
you know, West End. Realistically, man, just Jane and Shepherd lived there. Mom came here. I guess I'm first generation Canadian.
Me too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out.
Shout out. Cause mom was from Jamaica. Grandma came first. Mom came after. I was born after. Way too early. Nah. Mom had me in high school. You know, had me in high school, 17. So, you know, I was involved in the school life before I even knew it. So, did that. I have a sperm donor father, not really, but kind of, sort of, you know.
You know, shout out for helping, you know, bringing my homie here. Like, you know, we'll give you that.
But man, got 2 siblings, younger brother, younger sister. Yeah, they're doing their thing now. You know, they're old. So everyone's grown up.
So now, like, one thing I want to know, fam, is like, you know, now that we talk about that, like, you know, a little bit about like the family aspect of things, like. How was, like, some of the hobbies and, like, passions that you had just growing up as a kid, just, you know, out and about?
Man, you know, it's like, you know, the hobbies you have kind of growing up where we're from is, like, ball.
Yeah,
that's the main one, because, you know, ball is a real thing.
You know what I'm saying? I still got my Kobe jersey, you know what I'm saying? It's my guy.
You know, the hoop dreams was real, and it's like, that's kind of what I thought. Just coming up, like, you know, what else to do than just kind of ball, and that's what it's gonna be. But I always was a little bit of a different cat in the sense of, like, I love ball because, you know, it was a thing to do, and, like, you know, you can play, and, you know, it's fun to do and whatnot. Yeah. But I always had, like, you know, other sides of me that I wasn't letting out.
Like, what wasn't letting fully being expressed.
You know, I'm a quiet dude.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, that's just me. I'm a quiet guy. You know,
you keep more things to yourself. So
I
it's
keep
like,
things
you know,
in. I don't like do too much, like, out there. So it's like I kind of watch from the sides and observe a lot. So I loved, like, the arts. I loved history. I loved, you know, stuff in that nature. But I never, like, really dove into it growing up. It was just chilling, ball. Man them girls, you know, it's just like kind of whatever. It wasn't like anything, like I wasn't going to, like, you know, drama class or trying out for, like, play or auditioning for plays or like nothing of the things you would think I would be doing or did with the current stage I'm in now.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because, like, I think about, like, even myself as you said that. It's like growing up, it's like, yeah, you know, one of the big hobbies is obviously playing ball. Like, and that was the thing I was, like, really passionate about. But at the same time, it's like a couple of things that you mentioned. It was about, like, history and having, like, a love for the arts. Because, like, me, I've always been a history buff. Because, like, you know, I just love just seeing what things happened beforehand and how they currently affect us, you know, and, like, that's how you always grow. So I always loved that. And then, like, what you say with the arts too was crazy, because, like, something, like, I don't even know if I say a lot, is that my highest mark in high school, because we went to the same high school, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the memory, you know what I'm saying? we some real eagles out here. We flying high. But my highest mark in high school was drama. I had, like, I think it was like a 89 or something.
Yeah, Miss Blackburn,
Miss
right?
Blackburn, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Miss Blackburn, you know what I'm saying?
Miss Blackburn. One time I went to the class and I'm like, I was looking in. I'm like, yo, you know, this is such a cool class, but I don't want to do it because I'm just like, I was a shy kid, quiet kid. I also miss ball. Ball was life. I'm like, I ain't doing no drama class.
Yeah, that's
so
exactly.
I'm peeking in the room and she goes, you want to come in? I'm like, nah.
But it's funny because like as me, someone who's in there, I loved it. It was like, and I had drama class like first thing in the morning too.
Yeah.
So it was like came in doing the thug dizzle, and it was like it was effortless. That's what it felt like to me. But then it was like, all right, grade 10 time to choose new classes. I didn't think about picking drama again because I'm like exactly what you said. Oh, ball is life. Like, yo, I don't want to take drama no more. I just did it for an art class.
Like you come to school out of middle school, you kind of have like your own, like you're still yourself in a bit. You come in, you do like what you want to do. Still, you're doing the drama class. I did like the the aquatics things, and you do like things you still enjoy. You still have like tied to as a child. Yeah. And then your first year of high school finishes, and then you're into like, okay, I'm gonna do what everyone else is doing.
It's the peer pressure to fit in. It's crazy. As someone like, as much as I thought I wasn't a big person that was like that conformed to that, when you look back on it, it's like that's exactly what I did. Because like I didn't chase something that I really liked doing because it was funny. I had this conversation with my Dukes the other day where I was talking about like, I remember as a kid like dressing up, putting on my black suit, black shades, and acting out Men in Black as the movie was on. My Dukes have confirmed this. This is facts. You know what I'm saying? And that was something I just loved doing. I did that for no reason, but just because I wanted to. And it's like now, when you go forward, it's like, damn, like it's crazy how much you really know where you want to go, but it's hard to push yourself.
That's it. It's like same thing along the lines of what you were saying is like, I do a lot of voices when I was growing up too, and I can mimic anybody. I can like, maybe not your voice, but I can get your mannerisms down. I can do you to anybody. So it's like always that kind of mind and very creative. I used to write. Remember Miss Delco?
Yeah.
English teacher, right? Yeah. Remember, I had her class, and then I wrote something, and then she was like floored by it, and then she got it on the CBC.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, she got it on the CBC, and it's like they wanted to interview me from what I wrote. It was like, because it was, I was very creative in a sense. So I knew like my writing style was like I can write. They
were shocked.
I can make a story. I know a story.
I can imagine why they were shocked, because just me knowing you, it's like, what the fuck? Where did this kid get this from?
I'm coming like, hey miss, coming down, sweating after a ball.
You know what I'm saying?
Penning this whole thing, and she's like, what? And I'm so like, I always had that in me. Even like, I remember when I heard she used to work in the film industry.
Oh, wow. I didn't know this.
She was saying that she used to work in the film industry. And I emailed her, I think maybe in grade 12. I had her like early. And then she left the school.
Yeah, I remember
and then I think in grade 12, I had emailed her, hey, miss, I want some advice how to get started in the film industry. Like I want to like, I want to get in there. How do I do it? And she tried to help, she tried to give me something, but like couldn't really give me too. She didn't know what to say. Yeah. She goes, Carlisle, just go after it, and kind of generic stuff. Go after just chase it. Just chase it, and and then it was her, and I think she had a student teacher. It was her or remember the teacher? She did was it civics? I don't remember. Oh man,
God! As soon as you said civics, I know, because there was like two civics teachers. Like
one of them, they had a student teacher come in, and she was like, her friend was a documentary filmmaker. I'm like, I emailed him too. I'm like, hey, can I ever come hang around? Yeah. And this is like, so I was kind of secretly, I knew what I wanted to do, but like.
It's like we said before, you're like secretly pushing yourself in there instead of just full force. It's like, I'm jumping into this.
But yeah, man, I just did that, and like, but like overall, I just kept ball was the main thing. Ball was the main dream, and I guess after they canceled sports,
that was a big year for me too. Trust me, I know it.
They canceled sports that year, and I'm like, well,
I'm fucked.
That's it. That's all. There goes the dream. There it goes.
I swear to God, that's exactly how I felt too, bro. Like,
man.
Oh man, but like, to transition though, like, let's like transition that, like, how you took like that passion, like the ball passion, and like transitioned it into the like the current, but also the past fashion, the past passions that you had with the arts, like, you know?
That's a good question, actually. I feel like I took that, and because one, for anyone to do a job where you don't have a job, it's like,
that's how it is, for real. It's like you're working, but like, you know?
working, like you put your soul into something just to get nothing back from it.
Not even no, we don't. We're good.
Not even a thank you. Just like you retire everything. That's really like playing ball, because you can work hard. Bro, practice is not easy.
No, practice is always harder than the
practice
game.
is hard. Defensive slide. You're burning. You're sweating. You're
25-second suicides.
Oh my God, you're doing the most, and to go lose a game, and to go lose a playoff game, and to go
and the season's over.
Season's done. All that sweat and tears and like pain,
blood sometimes,
all the fights, and the season's done. And it's like that trains you to do, I think, life one, but especially a life in the arts, where it's like the arts is a very fickle thing, where it's a very subjective thing.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, you never really know when somebody might say, call your number, you know, or someone might call your number like you're up, or you're, you know,
you just gotta stay. It's just like ball. You gotta stay ready.
Just like that.
You never know when coach is gonna be like, "It's your time," and you hop in the game. You put in work, and now you forever starter.
It's just like that. Just like that. But it's like, you know, I was watching the Super Bowl, watching the playoffs, and it's like these teams have worked all this time, and even the Olympics, actually, a better example.
That's the hardest if you think about it.
3 years, 4 years, every day grinding. In one false start, dreams dead.
4 years of work.
4 years of work, and you jumped a second early. Done. I saw that in the summer one when the sprinter just took off a little early. What happened to his lane? It's empty. You're disqualified, bro.
That even just hearing that would make me want to cry, because I could just imagine everything that goes into that, and then
just gone. So like the ball transition is like the work ethic, the team, and teamwork too.
Yeah,
you know, any arts, people see you as a solo thing, but it's like, you know,
it's always teamwork.
It's always teamwork involved in it. It's always collaborative.
Because like I feel that's a big thing too. Because I feel like even if you think about it, like with the arts, like in the sense of like, you know, we act. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you think about it like that. Usually, you need someone else there. And it's usually a whole better scene when people have chemistry together. That's all teamwork. That's all it is.
That's it.
It's like, you know, me and Lizzo, when we used to run the pick and roll back in the day, best believe it was deadly.
Smooth pick and roll is like watching a masterpiece unfold. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
What? It was just the same. It was just the same. Chemistry was there. That's all I'm saying.
Man.
You know, but like that's just one thing that I love, that, you know, that a lot of people don't realize at a young age. I feel like I know that you noticed, because like even for myself, I didn't notice this shit, you know. And it's like the fact that you notice it, and then you just transition one passion to the other, like almost seamlessly. It seemed like
it was almost, but you know, it's like, it's weird, because like I realized, like I used to, like, you know, you can't fight your internal urges, in a sense where it's like, I was walking downtown once, they were shooting, I think it was Batman, Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, yes.
And I stood there all night watching them shoot this thing, just like, man, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this.
I want to be on the other side of this.
I have no clue how, because you know, we don't know nobody.
Facts
In the industry, like, we don't know not a soul in the movie industry. Who's gonna, you know, nobody. I'm like, how do you start this? You know, so I'm just like, by like God's grace, I met a friend of mine. I was working security in the club. This guy is like, "Hey man, you want a drink?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" I'm like, it's kind of like, are you?
It's kind of weird.
Like, pick me up or something?
Yeah, I was like,
and then he goes, sure. And then we're talking. He's like, "Hey man, yeah, I'm here for my work party. You know, I'm just fucking bored, man. You look like a cool guy, so I'm gonna buy you a drink." I'm like, "All right." Talking. Got Instagrams. I saw he's an actor. I'm like, oh shit, you act? He's like, yeah, man. You know, I'm trying a thing. And I'm like, how do you get involved? And that's where it started. My boy UCal. Shout out to UCal.
Shout out. You know
He just gave me the rundown. Met me at Panera Bread. And we just
gave you the game.
Gave me the game plan. Like, hey, you need headshots, acting class. What I gave you.
Yeah, he gave me the game. That's why it's my mentor right here. He gave me the game.
You need headshots. Go to this acting class. Talk to Earl. Do this. Do that. EVN Studios. Hit them up. See what's up. And he goes, yeah, you just, and that's all it really is. You just do that, and it's like you kind of just chalk it up.
Keep working
keep it up.
So like that's crazy, and like I love the story just because it's just like how you can just turn passions from that, like even the ones that we kind of hide from ourselves, and how they really just push themselves out to the forefront. Like you said, it was like urges that eventually you just cannot resist.
Yep.
It's just something that you got to jump through. Now I want to know some other questions. Now we're going a little bit off the professional side. You know what I'm saying? A little bit personal there. Now it's like, young black males as such as myself, and it's with being an actor and being in the industry that we're in. What are your type of views on like how society is nowadays? Like, especially for, people of color or like, anyone in general.
It's a very loaded question because there's so many ways that you can look at it.
Yeah.
And society nowadays is getting very, very hard to live in. It's like every day you look, it's like something else is just like
popping off.
Yeah, something else is just going on, and it's like, be it any minority group, not even minority group, any group of people, one day you might just be like, like not the chosen ones, or you're the chosen ones. And I hate when I see that they're choosing us because they feel pity for us. Don't just give me something because you feel pity for me. Give it to me because I earned it.
Because I'm the best.
Because I'm the best at this. Don't just give me a handout because it'll shut them up for a bit. If we give them this, they'll stop for a little bit.
Yeah, because if we make it a little trendy, eventually no one's gonna like the trend anymore. We can just go back to regular scheduled programming.
It's like never discrediting someone's achievements, but I won't say who, but some people, big actors, have gotten big awards that weren't deserved because it was the climate for someone to win. They needed something like this. And some people might say, you know what, we'll take it. That's fine too. But for me personally, I want to earn it, knowing that I outright earned this.
See, I know exactly how you feel, because like when I think about it, like even like on myself, like I'm trying to make my way into this acting industry, and like being a black person myself, and then at that being disabled, I already know that that's something that people would key in on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's a wheelchair guy and he's black. It's like a double entendre. This is perfect. Like, and it's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll probably get jobs for that reason. But at the same time, I want to show that I can actually do this. I can actually like get into a character and get into a role that's like totally opposite of myself, just to show that that's how much dedication I'm trying to put into this. And like, I know what you mean, where it's like, I'd rather get a job off that than just because I was a black guy in a wheelchair.
That's the thing. And it's like, a lot of shows now are doing that, where they put the black character or the minority character, they'll make it a double entendre. They'll make you black and gay, or they'll make you black and disabled, or they'll make you like Superstore. The black guy is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He can walk. He can walk in real life.
Yeah, I know. I googled that after, because I saw that. I'm like, I wonder if this guy can really walk. And I'm like,
they put him in a wheelchair. Now, for what? I think about it. Why put you in a wheelchair? For what? Why? He can walk in real life. So why have you in a wheelchair? What's the reasoning behind having him in a wheelchair?
Just to hit more than one minority group at the same time.
And that show was like, it's a good show. It's funny. It came out a while ago. Hence why they probably didn't think about that. It came out a while ago, quite like
almost like
7 years now, probably.
Yeah, close to that. Almost like 10 years ago.
But it's like, it starts off from the ground up, where it's like, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, the the kids now, they don't teach us, or at the time we were kids, now that we're kids from these areas, they don't teach us that you don't have to work, like a trade job in order to have a good life. Remember us learn a trade, guys, because
bills,
learn a trade. That's a way to get a good life out of yourself.
Yeah, there was never really like anything other than those like tactical type of like jobs, or trades, or like factory work and stuff like that. Like
it was like learn
forklift.
Get your forklift license, or get your license on your excavator, or learn a trade. And why don't you tell me it's okay to want to be an actor? It's okay to want to be a dancer. It's okay to want to be a shoe designer.
Yeah,
it's okay to want to be anything you want. Anything, not even like a thing where it's like but don't stop spreading the message that the young minority kids have to do these like
minuscule
jobs in order to make a good living for themselves.
Because like this, honestly, skies are the limit. Like that's the crazy thing. Because like even for me, I was talking about this to someone the other day. Almost like another mentor of mine who actually helped me to get into this acting thing. Because he sent me the like audition stuff for like my first commercial, and I was just telling him the other day, it's just like, it's just crazy how you could have asked me 2 days before I got shot if I would end up doing what I'm doing now, and I would never have thought that. I'd have thought, I would have been stuck in the same factory that I'm doing, whipping around this Raymond Reach, pulling down these 100-pound tables 20 feet in the air.
Jeez.
No harness.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought I would have been doing.
Jeez.
And now I'm like, never going back to that.
That's the thing with us. It's like, they teach the kids in the the better in the more affluent neighborhoods. You guys can own these things. You can own the factories. You can own the and teach us how to work in them. You can own the welding company, but you guys can work in the welding company. And it's like that's the message that's been spread to society now, and that's I'm not in the schools. I don't know what's happening now. I don't have any anyone on the front lines. But when we were in there, it's like
that's how it was.
Because
like that's what it felt like. Because honestly, especially coming from like a school that we come from, like even though funny enough, like the two things there I always say that was good there were basketball and like. What was it? Computer science.
I think robotics or robotics.
Robotics. Good. They were like math and science. They were really good at, and but everything else was.
You think I knew where that room was? Where that robotics room was?
I swear to God, I did. The reason I knew is because it was beside the drama class. So when I was going in the morning, they were right there. That's the only thing I had
any clue what it looked like in that room?
Yeah, I have no idea. All I knew is that they had the chairs with the spins, and they had one of those.
It wasn't even an option to us, like
I had no. It wasn't even an option. I couldn't apply to that.
It wasn't even an option.
They picked you up from middle school.
Hey, why don't you guys go check out the robotics room?
No,
check out the robotics program.
They picked those kids up from middle school. We were not allowed. We were not invited.
We weren't drafted to that.
No,
we weren't in that draft class.
No.
But it could have been cool. It's like if it's like what, let's do one day where it's like the basketball team come hang out with the robotics class.
Facts.
Because
you need to change your mindset.
Come hang out with the robotics class for whatever they do for their practice.
Exactly.
See
how they put in with the work that they're doing.
Come see what they're doing, and I guarantee you, one of us could have been like, I like this. This is crazy.
And it's so funny because like when I think about and I look about like the teams that we were on too back in the day when we were in high school, a lot of shit happened to a lot of us.
Bro, there's a picture I have of the other team. I'm like, this.
The championship game. Yeah.
I'm like, this picture is like, it's like Final Destination.
For real.
This picture has like,
swear to God,
some wild shit from everyone.
Like a couple mans. Like,
and I'm like, I was looking at it. I'm like, that's sad.
For real.
That's a normal thing to happen in like on a team picture in a school like we went to. That's a normal thing.
At least probably what, 3 to 4 mans at least, I could say, were shot.
Like gun related things.
Like
Either man's had guns, it's like a whole thing.
Yeah,
it's a whole
either
thing.
which way, both sides. You know what I'm saying? It was and it's like exactly what you said. No one ever came to us and said, "Hey, why don't you guys like try something else?" Just for us, like, not even to say like, "Oh, stop playing ball," but you can do other shit too.
And just because the fact of that, it's like, you know, I always say, people say, "Oh, people got to stop with the crime or stop with the drug dealing, stop with the things." But I'm like, look, no one likes to be broke.
Facts.
So why don't the adults give us the options
to do other things?
Like, if I was in class, if someone came to my class and been like, "Yo, I'm an actor, I make X amount of money
doing this," because when I got my first acting check, best believe I was like, what?
I was like, what? Like, my first time I did 2 days on a show once. 2 days on a show, $10,000 check. And I was like,
you're like, wait, what?
What?
Wait, this is for me?
This is for 2 days, and not even 2 full days. 1 full day and another half day.
Yeah, that's how they'll do you. That's how they do you. And then you think to yourself, you're like, wait, hold on. All the years I was struggling for bread.
All the time I was just trying to find hustles to just do. Should I make a little $100 here, a couple $100 there, just do random. And it's like, if I don't know this, you hit your passion. I'm not saying chase money.
Yes.
I'm not saying go out and
chase the passion.
Chase money. Chase the passion. And then that's the thing, is you got to find the passion, but explore yourself. You know, find time to explore yourself. And it's just like, you know, it will be hard at times.
Of course, it
will be hard at times.
Yeah, there's always hills and valleys.
But you know, it's like a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain.
For real,
you know. But it will be difficult. But same way, if someone came to me and like, yo, you know, nowadays social media is showing you different things you can be doing.
Yeah.
But it's like right now, there's somebody who made these jeans, who designed these jeans, who cut the cuts in those jeans. Mm-hmm. Who's making a lot of money?
Fact.
Somebody who designed this shoe.
Oh, we already know. We already know this person's making a lot of money.
There's people now that who even like customize certain shoes.
Facts. And they make a living off that, maybe because when they were kids they loved to customize their own kids.
They love just, and
then eventually someone's like,
like just putting different shit together. It's like, you know, there's people doing, and there's a, you know, Lethal Shooter.
Yeah.
The 3-point guy.
Yeah.
He's making a crazy.
He's making millions of dollars training people to do just shooting because he excels at that. I like ball. I'm a pretty good shooter.
I guarantee you the same drills that Mato taught us.
The same thing. It's the same
drills Mato taught us.
That's same thing. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Extend, shoot out. Rotation.
90 degrees. Backspin, arc, high,
all that.
Follow through.
Bend the knees. You gotta get your knees underneath you. All that. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, you know, but all we were taught is either you gotta play. Once you're done, like we were like I'm not saying we got treated, because they treat us very well.
Yeah.
Mato, Antonio,
of course,
very well, very very well.
A lot of my like teachings in life go back to just a lot of the things that they helped teach us through, like, you know, just
all
the game.
All now. For me personally, every teacher I came in contact with at Emory, you know, not everyone, but most of them, good, genuine people.
Facts.
Mr. Carey hit me up the other day on Facebook.
Oh, I love Mr. Carey, bro.
Mr. Carey was like, I saw you in a movie, man.
Oh, shit.
He's like, I told my family, I used to teach this guy.
Yeah,
he's like,
I love that guy, dog.
I'm like, man. But it's like, you
shout
know,
out Mr. Carey.
Mr. Carey, man. But it's like, you know, but like, they were always like, I'd say people who were like, you know, kind of do what you want. Mr. Carey, I asked Mr. Carey, I want to be an actor. He says, oh, you could. Just do it now. Why are you so handsome?
That sounds exactly like something he would say. Mr. Carey gave 0 fucks. He was that teacher that would tell you that he gives 0 fucks in class, just like that.
Mr. Carey said, do it now. Why you still look good? he's like
you know, don't wait too long. Like, that sounds like that is the perfect advice coming from him.
But like, you know, he didn't tell me, nah, Carlisle, you know,
try to do something realistic, try to go to school for a couple of years for something that you don't really want to do. Man. That's what I love about some like teachers like Mr. Gary, because like he's the same guy that would say like when he like I had him for like philosophy and I think it was anthropology, sociology, psychology, and like he would say shit like I was a horrible student in school. Like horrible. Like it was only till like I got to like my senior years of doing school where I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna put some more effort into this. And then like so he's the same one that'll tell like all these kids that he sees that aren't doing so great that don't mean shit. Like he's the one that like that's what I'm saying, where something like that where you're giving him a dream that seems like almost far-fetched, especially for someone like us at that time. And he's saying, might as well try it.
Let's try it.
And you're right. There needs to be a lot more of that. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the youth. Because, like, that's what a big thing I try to do. Like, when I think about, like, going back to my old neighborhood is, like, I want to encourage these kids. Because, like, for me growing up, bro, I would say, especially in, like, my neighborhood, after, like, 12 years old, there was nothing to do but, like, be outside. And then when you're just outside after that age, God only knows what can happen. And it's just, like, when you live like that, and then you go through something like this where I'm like doing the acting work, and it's like it's something that I love to do that pays me well enough where I'm just like I don't want to do shit to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if I had that when I was 15, 16 years old. Like,
and it stems from society again. It's like don't just glorify the drama in black people's lives. Like, they're glorifying the Kanye drama with his family. Right. That's everywhere. The glorification of this dramatic relationship. They're glorifying it. I watched a documentary the other day. The first installation, and it like I won't give anything away, but you start to understand like that should be glorified. That should be put on the pedestals, and like the good that comes from. Not just the drama, and it also comes from people wanting to see the drama.
Very true.
People want to see the drama. Yeah. We enjoy to watch the drama, but it's like it has a harmful effect on on younger generations.
For real, because like then they're growing up thinking that this is normal. This is the normal way to go. Like So, we're going to take a little spin off of that, though, and we're just going to get into, like, mental health is obviously the big thing on the show, Wheel1 podcast is one of our main things, and, like, I want to know about, like, we want to know about, like, a traumatic situation that first made you, like, think about your own mental health, and how did you, like, cope through that and get through that,
Yeah, there's, a couple, going through, like, there's a couple situations that make you, like, feel like get to a point of like you don't know how to cope with, trying to figure out how to cope with it. I wouldn't say traumatic, but a big life change was finding out I'm going to be a father. Finding out.
I mean, that's not traumatic, but that's still the same
traumatic,
thing,
but it's a very life altering thing to hear when you're not ready for it.
Yeah, and I could imagine how that impacted your mental health.
When you're not ready to hear that news, when you're just kind of living for yourself, and then it's like one random day you hear this, hey, you're about to be, it's like, okay. It's like, okay, how do I, wow, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's like, how do I work through this now?
Work through this one now? And it wasn't easy, but a lot of things getting older and relying on like a faith, like whatever people, higher powers, God, a faith, some sort of faith will keep you going.
Facts. I feel like it's funny that you say that, because I can remember reading a book. It was called I think Man's Searching for Meaning, and that was pretty much the basis of the book, that it doesn't matter what it is. It could be something that's not even really there, but you believe, and like that little hope can carry you through almost anything in life.
That's all you need, is that one inkling of hope, that one drop of hope, and it can carry you far, like you were saying. Like that, the hope that, and I think also the sports, the ball put a work ethic in me where it's like, where you're working towards something and you kind of like, you want to give up because it's hard.
Yeah.
Not every day get up enjoying life, like, enjoying to the fullest, because it's hard sometimes. It gets to you sometimes. Even the most positive of people, it gets to you.
For real.
So,
it really does.
With the ball aspect, that dig deep and come on, you can do one more.
You can get through it.
You can get through it. You know, practice is almost over.
Yeah,
so
man. That's that we done did. We're doing 30-second suicides. Nobody made it about 5 times. We are number 6 now, and it's like, yo, come on, guys.
We can do it. We can do it. And DJ is always the one in the front every time. And we're like, bro, just fucking run with the group.
Fuck that shit.
This
You
guy's
guys
always the one running. Come on. I'm like, bro, we're fucking tired.
I'm tired too, bro. I was thinking that whole time back then. I'm like, yo, how are these niggas not keeping up with me? I'm chiefing all the time. Like, what is going on?
Like, this guy's always ahead, but you know, it's the mentality.
It's the mentality,
and it's the mentality of having like that. Like, you know what? I can get through this. It's painful, but I can get through it.
And then I feel, not to cut you off, but like I feel like you feel a lot more accomplished when after you hit that, because you're like, you thought honestly, genuinely thought you couldn't do something, and when you do it, you're like you feel like almost anything's possible.
Yeah. You know, there's a time when when was it? It was a dish. No, I got close to being on this show. You know, the game. It's an older show, then they brought it back.
Okay, yeah, because it sounds familiar.
On BT.
Oh, yes, on BT,
they brought it back now, and I was like in the running to be on. I was very close. My first time getting like a American thing. I was very close. I was like, this is the one. I'm about to
give it. And that's a classic to me. Like, I remember that.
And they told me they're like, yeah, are you ready to go? We're gonna get. I'm like, this is it. Nothing. And then it's like, it weighs on you because you're like, you have this whole idea in your head of how
it's gonna go,
and then it just doesn't go that way. But I think the number one thing that keeps me going is the faith, man. Is the faith in myself and faith that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
And you're just gonna ride it to the wheels fall.
And exactly. And nothing and the thing is too, it's like, I think, you know, everything I've said about doing in life or doing, I've accomplished. You know, things I've talked about to myself and done. And you know, one year I'm like, how'd I get on TV? Next year I'm on TV, and it's like, you know, like you just kind of
slowly work your way through it.
Yeah, you don't know how, but it happens.
Yeah, because like that's what I think is crazy about like another thing with like chasing passions and everything is just like, you do it for the love of it. And while you do it for the love of it, like you're aspiring for these things, and then these things come, and it's like it's like it's a feeling that's almost hard to describe sometimes, because you're like, wow, these are things that I really dream for, and like they're really starting to come to me. And then it's like, once you slowly see it start to come, it's like, okay, like you said, where it's like, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, so you're just going to rock until the wheels fall off and you get what you know you deserve.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's something that like I started to feel too after a while. Like, shit, I remember like when I got my first commercial, I fucking cried like a baby. I was crying like a baby. I was like, psst, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, like, because for me, I remember working in that same factory I was talking about earlier, thinking, fuck, I want to get paid to speak. Like, I'm breaking my back in this bitch. Like, you know, Sam, I love you, but like, bruh, I was making you a lot of money, and I was just like, oh, this is not it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, to fast forward that, like, I'm actually getting paid to speak in terms, and it was like, it was just mind-boggling. Like, I couldn't believe it. Even as it was happening right in front of me, it's like I still couldn't believe it.
It's that faith you have in yourself,
exactly,
to know that, you know what, I don't know how,
but I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna get this bill paid or how I'm gonna get this done, but people find a way.
Exactly,
people find a way, and you know, might not come at your time, but it'll come at the right time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, perfect timing. Because like wherever there's a will, there's a way, and I feel like that's a huge thing. And like, the one thing is like what we were saying earlier, like a main thing about this whole thing is that faith, is because like once you have that, I feel like your options are unlimited now, because like it doesn't matter. Like there's some forms of ways that the universe will push you in a way to get the things that you want to get done if you genuinely want them. And I feel like that's a huge thing, you know. Now like Oh shit! Sorry about that, guys. You know what I'm saying? No COVID. It's the smoker's cough. Yeah. But now that we gone through that, like, you know, let's talk about like how, like, not necessarily like the pain. Well, yeah, let's talk about the pain in the senses of like losing things, like where you think you're about to get your big break and you don't, and how you in turn turn that into motivation.
Man, there's been so many times when I'll say not even just the acting industry. Anybody who's going through life has felt pain before.
Of course.
Off of not getting something they want to get, be it a raise, be it the job. And I always tell people, I'm like, if you wanna feel pain, try acting for like a couple months. try putting yourself out there. Like literally
putting yourself out there into situations that maybe aren't too comfortable for you. You have to make it seem like you're extremely comfortable.
I've done things where, man, starting out, driving across town early morning, driving across the city to cross the city from like, let's say from here, or where I'm in Saga now, from Saga to Markham.
Literally other side.
Morning time, to have like a no line kind of like role where you're just like pretty much a background actor essentially.
Yeah.
And doing that, thinking, how am I gonna get to like be somebody who's talking? And then it's like, now every audition you do, it's like, you drop everything. Yeah. You drop everything. You spend time doing digesting it, doing the work, getting the words in, getting the character, and then you find someone to help you tape it, audition it, edit it, send it off, and then you hear nothing. A role, I've had roles where they're written like the description is like they wrote it to me,
like it's like they saw you, and
like they saw you and wrote it to me, and I'm like, this is in the bag. This is it. This is
no problem.
Okay,
I got this. I felt I had one of those too the other day too. You know what I'm saying?
Like they wrote it to you, and you're like, okay, all right, done. Great. The agent sends it. Oh, this is the one. This Carl. This is the one. This is it. I'm like, yo, all right, nothing. You do a callback. Director loves you. Everything loves you. Nothing. So it's like, and
as soon as you said that, it's like I had a flashback. I'm like, oh shit, I remember that.
And this happens more than you get told,
more than you get jobs.
So it's like you're going through weekly bases of getting told,
we're good.
Yeah, but we're good. Thanks, but it's not you. And it's like, and then you look at yourself and you're like, I take it as, how can I get better?
Facts.
How can I get better to where I am? I give you no choice but to have.
You have to take me.
I give you no choice.
Where it's like, this guy was so good, you have to be like, fuck the guy. Fuck. The guy we had before was good, but like, did you see Carlisle?
It's like, so you you take that as like, the other day my voice agent was like, hey, I had 3 in 1 week. 3 voice jobs. You're on hold. You're on hold means
you're like almost there.
You're like one of 2 people.
Yeah.
Clear your schedule. Oh, that's the worst. They tell you to clear your schedule.
Oh, fuck.
Put you on hold means don't make any plans until we tell you. Yeah. Put you on hold. You're like, okay, and then doing calculations. I'm gonna get this pay from that pay. This check will come in. This check will come in. 3 jobs in 1 week. All of them. No.
Fuck.
3. I'm 0 for 3.
You think at least one of them? You're like, I'm
getting 1. 0 for 3, and the agent's like, you know what? You've gotten close, but it's not like we got to get you over the hump. And I'm like, I'm with you. How can we get better?
Exactly.
How can we? I'm not blaming anyone. How can we get better?
Facts.
How can I do this to get myself in a better position where they can't say no?
Exactly. And I think like that's a mentality that not a lot of people have, because I think a lot of people struggle with constructive criticism is number one, because like especially in our field, that's all you fucking get. it might not even be constructive. It may just be criticism, and you better take it as fucking constructive.
And it's like, that people are judged. Like I remember doing the commercial once, doing on the job, and then seeing walking out to where the producers and directors sit, and seeing that like an 80-inch screen like 80-inch TV screen. They had money. 80-inch 80-inch TV screen watching, the live feed. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, watching me on this? Jesus Christ. This screen is huge. And then the guy who was running with me inside was like, okay, they want you to do more eyebrow movement. Yeah, they like the eyebrows. they like what he did in audition, the eyebrow thing. Do that eyebrow thing. So I'm like, okay, you cast me for my eyebrows. Cool. All right, the eyebrow thing.
Do you even know what the eyebrow thing was at this point?
No, because auditions, you don't. For commercials, you just kind of do.
Yeah, you just do whatever.
You just do.
Yeah.
Until you celebrate. I'm celebrating. Do the eyebrow thing. All right, cool. So that these people are all saying something about you that they did not like.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
And then they're like, do something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. But it's like, as of what your question was, that kind of stuff. I love that. I love being told. Me personally, I love being told. Tell me how it is.
Keep it real.
Tell me how it is. I might not like to hear it, but I know myself that
you need to hear it. Yeah, exactly. It's not about what you want. It's about what you need.
I need to hear that, to tell me and also the camera is the biggest punch in the face.
For real.
When you see yourself, you realize.
Because I kind of hate seeing myself when I watch my things back. When I watch myself back on things that I've done, I'm just like,
when you see yourself, you realize okay, I gotta do something different.
Yeah.
So any critic you ever see, nobody can compare to yourself.
Facts.
Watching yourself from an outside, or hearing yourself, watching yourself from. I do voiceovers and film, so
I can imagine that.
Now
hearing your voice.
Now I'm used to the voice shit because first time you're play.
It sounds weird hearing your voice back like that.
And then you're watching it's a worse when you're not in control of the product. So on a show or something, your self tapes, it's all you.
Yeah.
Your lighting, your thing.
Facts. You set up everything.
You set up how you want to set it up. When it's on somebody else, they make it how they want to make it, which might be not what you want to see. So you're like, this is. But you know what? End of the day, it's the pain that I've been, because a lot of things come from a lot of greatness comes from the pain.
Facts. I feel like most of the greatness comes from the pain, because it's funny. I see I compare things a lot of things life almost to music sometimes. So I think about with the rap game, a lot of rappers they flex all their success and accomplishment. The ones that we love and we consider the GOATs and have classic records, a lot of those records are about the pain. Not about a lot of flashiness. It's a Nipsey Hussle line. He said sometimes he raps about his feature price, and sometimes he raps about all his defeats in life. And I feel when he raps about the defeats in his life, I relate to that more, because not everyone's gonna get to have all this money and be flexing with all this drip and all this next shit. But guarantee you, more people will connect with that pain, because we're not the only ones that go through it.
Look at every movie ever made. It's a formula. TV, movies, it's a formula, story formula, where someone's here, they want something happens where it's hard to get it.
Yep.
They get over that thing, get the thing being the money, the girl, whatever's at
the end of the rainbow.
So it's a life story. The pain has to be there. You just have to learn how to use it to not crumble you, but to use it to push you forward. That's what it is, man. And
I mean, that's a big thing, because a lot of people need to hear, because I feel a lot of people, while they're going through their pain, one, they feel alone, which is always the worst, because then you get deeper and deeper into yourself. But then two, they forget that how valuable the pain is, because one, for me, it's someone, I go through it from physically and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So physically, pain is good for you, because one, you're alive, and you can tell when something's off. And then two, emotionally, it's great for you, because you build from those situations, what you're saying, because it's I feel me becoming more vulnerable and me being more emotional has helped me more as a person, because it helped me build more, because I've allowed myself to accept some of those pains and use them to add on to the strengths that I've already had in life. And I feel a lot of people forget about that part and kind of just take the pain as just pain.
That's
take
it.
the L without the lesson.
You have to get the lesson too, because a big thing about it is being vulnerable. You know, as black men. And somebody in one of my acting classes told me this. She came to me after class and was like, hey, you know, Carlisle, I just want to tell you that it's refreshing seeing someone, you know, and she's a black lady, but she still didn't want to say it out blatantly. You know. She's like, it's refreshing seeing you, you know, be vulnerable. And, you know, we don't get it too often seeing...
She didn't want to say seeing a black man be vulnerable like that.
Seeing,
you know what I'm saying? Being emotional.
Being vulnerable. And I'm like, listen, I'm with you. You don't see a big black guy break down.
Especially like you, because you're a huge nigga.
You don't see, like, you know, it's not something you see. All you see is, like, you don't expect us.
It's always that hard
It's just
look,
a
like,
hard
you know?
show where it's like, you know, but I've learned there's no shame in, you know, being vulnerable.
No, not at all. Because, like, for me, it took me to points where it's like I had to go through losing some of my homies, and then when I'm at the funerals, I see everybody cry. So at the end of the day, like, it's like I ain't got no shame of being vulnerable. Like there's just a lot of fucked up shit that happens, and I'm allowed to express that, because if I don't, it gonna make me want to do some crazy things to people. And like sometimes, like, that's the one thing that people need to realize, that sometimes it's better to express it, because like I said before, you're not alone. There's somebody that's going through the exact same or something extremely similar that can be like, you know what? They give you the lesson that comes with the L, you know? And I feel like that's a huge thing.
You know, you don't want to teach, and a lot of people are learning that now, I guess. Like, even like people always say that, you know, I never saw my father cry. I never saw, you know, but now it's like, I feel it's kind of turning.
Yeah,
you know, where it's like people are,
because it's like, for me, like, I feel like my homies, I've seen, like, especially after like my homies have passed, I see now my homies, like, if there's a situation where man's like feel vulnerable and want to cry, it ain't nothing. Like, no one's gonna be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, cause like, yo, man up. Like, it's one of those, like, we get it, we all get it. So it's like, just don't even trip, like, you know. And I feel like that should be the norm instead of what it was, I feel, for us growing up, where it was like, man up. You know what I'm saying? You can't cry. What are you crying about? You know?
That's it.
So it's like, you know, it's one of those things. I feel like it's glad to see it finally start to change, but it's a slow change at the same time.
It is, but, you know, slow is still happening.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. I'll take slow and steady than not at all.
Not moving, exactly. So, you know, all right, fam, now we're going to talk about, like, what's going on currently, what you currently doing for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, my homie does do big things, if you don't know, you know what I'm saying? You probably seen him around before, you know what I'm saying? But let him know about some things that you currently doing and what the future has cold for you.
You know, the future is very...
I know you can't really talk about the future too tough, you know what I'm saying? But, you know,
like, the actor's life is like... It's
silence,
a
you know?
day-by-day silent thing. I could have something... I have Star Trek coming out. I did Star Trek.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't say what I'm doing on Star Trek, but I'm on Star Trek. That's coming out in May. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
You know what I'm saying? Check out my homie on that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Can't be, can't say too much.
Not too much. It's even me, because like I'm thinking in my head, and I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. It's too much for you guys.
On their Most Dangerous Game, that's a show on CBS, Roku. They're doing it. They had season 1 before, and then they got bought by Roku and CBS for this season. So I have a little thing on there.
Oh, that's lit. That's lit.
I just got a series I'm doing called Ezra. That's coming. I don't know when, but that's a new job. I just currently got that one.
You see my homies be steady working right
there. No, trust me, it's not. It's
not easy. I ain't saying it easy. I'm just saying niggas is doing it.
There's a film called Inheritance that's coming out too in a little bit. Just finished that one a couple weekends ago or whatnot. But yeah, man, and that's just my main thing is filled with just self betterment.
I mean, that's the best thing, because like, especially in the industry that we're in, the only thing to do is get better, because like at the end of the day, there's no age limit to what the fuck we do. Like, that's the crazy part.
You can be doing this at Morgan Freeman.
Fuck Betty White, bro.
Betty White.
Work until like 99. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So there's no sky to it. There's no end. But just finding ways to make yourself feel good, to be better, get better. That's what my day-to-day is like, man. It's just how to get better today.
Self-improvement, you know.
That's it.
Like a friend of mine, you know, shout out Aaron, you know, what he said on one of our previous podcasts, what he said to me before is like, you know, try to get 1% better a day, you know. That's all it is.
I remember I DM'd this where is he from again? He's from Ballers, the show Ballers.
Oh, yeah.
One of the guys on Ballers. I'm like, yo, man, how do you... I was hungry. I'm like, how do you get on? How do you get on? He's just like, hey, man, every day, do one thing to push yourself towards where you want to be. Just one thing. Be it read a script, be it practice a monologue, be it watch a movie, anything, watch even a TV show, any little thing, an hour a day, 1 hour a day, just do something to the 1%. You know, that's just it. So
yeah, man, I love that. I love the story and the passion and like, you know, what you bring to the table, because I feel like a lot of the youth, especially where we come from, need to hear things like this, because like, you know, we don't see this option, you know what I'm saying? We see it, but it's like
far out,
you know, and it feels unattainable.
I feel like they're gonna see it, but all they're gonna hear is $10,000.
Yeah. Sometimes you know that helps dry in.
If that helps you dry in, I don't mind it. Come in.
You know,
there's a lot of doors open.
Passionate.
There's a lot of doors open.
You gotta find that passion.
You know,
and you'd be surprised what it'll do for you, how much it'll help you. You know, in those senses.
Yeah,
you
man.
Know, thank you for coming through, Lizzo. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
really
thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me, brother.
You know what I'm saying? It's the Wheel1 podcast. You know, it's your boy Master Twins. And you know, we signing off for this one, but you know, thank you a lot, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you again.
All right, that was fucking lit.